Mate, this must feel nice to be back around it, a fight, getting, out of the bubble into proper action again.
Last time we talked, it was for me giving myself a black eye.
That's right. Oh, yeah, we haven't spoke since you became a global phenomenon. That was so funny, man. When you put that viral video out of yourself punching you in the face, and then Australia, Poland, all these countries are running it going, can you believe this European champion guy punched himself? Like, oh my God. He bought it. He absolutely bought it.
What can I say? My next stop is acting. I'm a great actor. I need some acting work.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, your post career is done. You're ready as soon as you retire. Once you hang them gloves off, straight to Hollywood. As long as you've got your brother with you to do all your CGI for you, you're good.
That's it. You can do all the tech stuff. Leave the acting to me.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Listen, of all the fighters I've spoken to over the last few weeks and today, I tell you what, probably the one person who suffered as much as anybody from a 2020 lockdown has got to be Sam Maxwell after your 2019.
Yeah. I got through that year, put loads of things in place, and I said to myself, I'm going to have a massive 2020. Started January, we started training. We were ready to go for hopefully March or April, and it just never happened. So frustrating.
Of course. Well, listen, you started 2019. That's why we're one of the great. We voted it as the greatest knockout of 2019, and I stand by it. It was absolutely incredible. And we got excited then when I was speaking to you, Sam, because you were like, that's what I've been waiting for. It wasn't necessarily the name of the opponent. The opponent may not have been the biggest name, but it was the manner of the victory which just made you go viral and put you on everyone's radar. Yeah,
definitely. And that's what I was waiting for, like you said. If I would have knocked that kid out in the first round, no one really cared, and it's just been another win for Sam. But that fight was ideal, especially because I got the win, and in such a way, it just took off. And I was hoping to build on that, but it stalled a little after that fight. I don't know what happened. It stalled. I only fought 2 more times, but got 2 good knockout wins. Yeah. But I had a feeling this year was going to be my year, but it still can be. It's just delayed. It's just a few months behind schedule. But I've got the kind of fight that I want, and that has got me going, feeling good.
Yeah, man. Well, listen, as you say, 2 knockouts that followed Sadiri. The big performance against Conor Parker, undefeated fighter, domestic fighter, a name. That was supposed to be a test. You absolutely flew through that. And now you get Joe Hughes, the former European champion as well. It's not like Frank isn't making the right matches for you. These are the right fights. You just need to get the performances done.
That's it. And this is the first one where even Conor Parker, I knew I was very, very super confident, like relaxed confident, whereas I knew that me turning up is going to beat Conor. I've got too much for Conor. But with this fight with Joe, I know I need to be my best. I've seen him be with everyone, and he's had 50-50 fights with everyone. Robbie Davis, Catterall, Tyrone Nace, Yigit, all top European and higher level opponents. And so I know I need to be my best, and it's getting me excited, because I know if I perform against Joe, is not like me and my coach think me and Danny think I'm going to. I think I'm capable of doing. I can make a real statement and put my name up there with some of the top lads in the division. Yeah,
absolutely. Let's now come on to the division in a second. But Joe, at the moment, this version of Joe Hughes is arguably more dangerous than ever, because, as you say, he went to Liverpool, fought Robbie Davis. People thought he won that fight, and Robbie Davis got his arm raised, but there was an argument that Joe Hughes had done enough, and maybe if it was on home soil for him down in London, he may have got the decision. It was a pretty close fight, and then he goes over to Spain, and of course, if you don't get a stoppage or certainly a massive performance overseas, then you're always going to struggle anyway. So he'll probably be disgruntled, the fact that he's coming into this fight off 2 losses, and he's going to be more dangerous than ever.
100%. He's got nothing to lose, everything to gain, and like you said, his last 2 fights are Sander Martin and Robbie Davis. They're the top level, like, do you know what I mean? So he's experienced, his game, and he's got nothing to lose, and he's coming to take my belt. So, but I watched the Robbie Davis fight. The first time I watched it, I thought, could have gone either way, 50-50. But after about the 5th time watching it, I felt like it was the right decision. I think probably box well in bits, box bad in bits, but box well in bits. But I picked up a lot of things that I hopefully I can take into the fight. I know you shouldn't look into things too much, past performances, but I took a few positive things out of that fight, which I think I can capitalize on definitely.
Yeah, obviously, all being well on Saturday night, we move forward, and those names will get put to you again, no doubt, at ringside. The Robbie Davises, the O'Hara Davises, the Lewis Rittons, the Terry Flanagans, even. There's so many options out there for you, Sam, and that's just at a domestic level. Would you prefer to kind of go for one of those domestic names next before you really push on the international stage?
Definitely, I think why not? There's the massive fights they did. With the likes of maybe Robbie Davis, I think that would be great. But it's just such a shame if there's no crowd there, because it could be such a good fight. And like there's
certainly for Liverpool anyway.
Yeah,
if it was in Liverpool,
really good show. Imagine like JJ Fowler, me and Robbie all in the same shot. Like it would be brilliant. So hopefully that is in the pipeline for a crowd there. But that's a fight I want regardless. And but also there's Key Menace Brown, Bowes fighting for the British and Commonwealth. They're fighting for the week after me. So I'd love the winner of that. Like if I make a statement here, I can put my name in the hat for that. That's a massive fight for me. Like them two titles, unreal. So there's so much out there, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, when Frank,
I can call like Catroll and name it out till I get a couple more wins. I think I'm a bit down the pecking order, but if they're in my eyesight, but they're in my aim, but not close enough yet. But a few more wins, big win against Joe, another big win, and I can start looking at them then.
Absolutely, push forward, of course.
And it's probably the best time to try and get them as well, because, like you said, domestic fights are more likely to happen than other fights. Yeah.
Oh, listen, domestic fights, certainly in this period that we're in right now, as has proven over the last few weeks at BT Sport and our fight camp, they've been the most popular fights. It's the Tasha Jonasons and the Terry Harpers, and it's the British fights that people are really getting excited for, because, if you like, they're the cleaner fights. They're where you see 50-50s.
Yeah. And that's what everyone's calling this fight. 50-50. I don't go on Twitter much, but when I go on, people are picking me, people are picking him, people are saying that it's going on the radar, they're really looking forward to this fight, and it's really exciting. It's good. So it's my first one to be a part of that kind of feeling and that kind of atmosphere, and I just can't wait to get in there and test myself.
Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. Listen, when Frank made the announcement the other week about potential for crossover fights between Frank Warren's stable and the Matchroom stable and everything else, was you like, come on, get me involved in a bit of that? Get me involved in a bit of the crossover action?
I was a bit gutted, but why would they mention me? I've not had a massive notable win yet, but I know get a good win on Saturday, then my name gets mentioned in all of them big fights. Like I've earned my place then. So it did hurt me a little bit when my name went getting mentioned. I didn't want to mention it myself, but I'm biding my time, and I know good performance on Saturday, and I'm right up there with everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk to me about what's happening in the world right now, Sam, because we're living in a crazy world right now. Not only COVID, but I'm sure you're the same. Every time we turn the news on, the civil unrest in the US, the Black Lives Matter stuff. Someone that comes from a mixed race family yourself. What have you thought about it all and everything else? NBA today, they've said the playoffs are going to be postponed because of it. The players are refusing to play after what's happened most recently in the US.
Yeah, like from what I've seen, I don't really watch the news, but from what I've seen on Twitter and stuff, it seems like Black Lives Matter has lost its appeal to people like me. Like I feel like, to me, like I liked it when it first happened, and I would go on my Facebook and people, black people, people like mixed race people, Asian people, they were all putting what had happened in their life and how, look, there is racism, this has happened to me, and they'd say, like, tell stories, and it was nice just for them to vent and tell the stories, and it was more about, but now I look at America and it's just about, don't know what they're trying, that's not what Black Lives Matter is about, with defunding the police and like, that don't mean anything to me. I don't think that's the cause, but it's just crazy, and it seems like there's so much division there, and the media seems to be building it up, and I don't understand why. Like we should be a time where we're all coming together. Like we've all got stories to tell, we've all got lessons to learn, and it's just like they're trying to sow division, and it's just crazy.
Yeah, man, it's become like a political tool, hasn't it?
That's it. The left v the right over there, and thankfully Britain's doesn't seem to be like that, or Europe or America has just gone crazy. I'm glad I don't live over there.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Listen, before I let you go, it must be nice to be reunited with Danny up in Scotland and getting your camps back on. I know early on, we talked about it earlier, that you were loving lockdown, you were posting all videos and embracing it. But then towards the middle of lockdown, you went quiet again. And I thought, Sam's probably hitting a bit of a dark time here where he's like, oh, when is this going to end? Like we all did, you feel that little bit of depression where you go, is this thing ever going to end? Am I ever going to get my life back?
Definitely. Like at the start, it was more like, one how long this is going to last. Make the most of it being funny. I've got loads of time at home, not been at home for ages, making loads of videos. And then after like two months go by and you're looking like, is this? And there's people talking new normal and stuff. I'm like, this is life now? And then, just depressing and it was just crazy. And like you said, it put me down a little bit, but then thankfully the boxing opened up and that was massive. I knew like Warren will get me on one of the yearly shows, so that gave me a little bit of motivation to start training again. I kept in great shape anyway. I feel over lockdown I'm probably put a bit more muscle on than I should have, but I kept in good shape. I stayed fit and it was good getting back as a camp in Scotland. It's good. It was because even though Scotland's a lot stricter than England, my life was the same. I just got up, go to gym, go and chill, go to shop. Like it hadn't changed much. So it was just good to get back into my routine and then focus on my boxing and it's good for my health.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Mental and physical.
Listen, as we go into the weekend, you're competing against, for headlines, you're competing against Sonny Edwards, who always turns up and puts on a show. Big D, David Eddie always produces something big. And obviously Daniel Dubois is probably the most exciting heavyweight on the planet. So you've got to do it this weekend to make sure you get your fair share of the headlines. And as you said earlier, I think you've got the sleeper fight. You've got the opponents that I think most of them wish they had, in terms of it being a big domestic dust-up and a trade fight is what we would call it, a trade fight. Two good guys who've been at the highest level. He's obviously been a little bit higher than you. Maybe he's shown signs of vulnerability now. Can you take that next step? These are what you get up in the morning at 6 o'clock for, aren't they? These type of fights.
Exactly, Nick. These just the kind of fights that get me going. And it's like being in the ABAs, or I haven't done it as a pro, like 50-50 fights where you've got tactics and you've got to stick to the tactics. You're going to win. And, evolving in there, when you get in there, what's he doing? Is he what you expected? Is he different? It's going to challenge me and I can't wait. This is what I'm about. And, massive fight. I'm looking forward to it. And like you said, massive name. Everyone knows Joe Hughes. Everyone knows he's had a 50-50 fight with Davis and all other top lads. So me winning against him is massive. And like you said, because Sonny's got a tough fight against a Samba, but Samba might not be. He's as rated as Joe Hughes, but he's not as known as Joe Hughes. Do you know what I mean? So
yes,
like I'm lucky in that sense that my fight is a massive name, and it's a trade fight. It's catching people's attention. But there's some hard fights on this show as well. I think Sonny's a great fight, and we're going to see the best Sonny. It needs to be the best Sonny.
Yeah, man, absolutely, and nice to be on Triple D's on the card as well, because we all know that kid's going to the very top.
Very top. Even being around him this week, he's a scary character. He don't say much. He's going just. I know him as well as me. Like I've known him for years, and then he don't even say much to me. Just sometimes he doesn't even let on. You walk past, he's just like he's in fight mode. But I don't like other people. You might like Fury. Might stop and wave, get a picture. The bar, just let him crack on. Like I'm not stopping him.
I'm not stopping him, even though he's me mate. I'm not even stopping him. I'm not even getting in the way.
But he's one win away from, and then hopefully they're setting up him and Joyce, and that is some fight. That's what I'm really looking forward to.
Absolutely.
We're lucky in Britain, aren't we? In England and Britain, and with our heavyweights, we've got some of the top talent.
Oh, this is a golden period, of course. Absolutely.
Yeah,
man. Listen, enjoy the next couple of days. Enjoy Saturday night, because I know when you're happy, that's when you're at your most dangerous.
Thanks, Nick.